Welcome to NinonSpeaks. I'm Ninon de Rosa, your host, and right next to me is AJ Dean, and she is my co-host. We've been doing this show now for quite about a year and a half now. And of course, you know why we started the show on Zoom. I'm sure everybody knows why, because we were in the pandemic. And of course, the pandemic was, nobody was really doing anything much, but everyone was trying to do something, especially in the entertainment business. So we started this show thinking, we've got to do something. We've got to keep moving. And so here we are. So AJ, as you all probably know, I don't pre-interview anybody, so I don't know who anybody is. I happen to know John, though, a little bit. And so AJ, you go ahead and introduce them.
Thank you so much, Ninon. We have two very special VIP guests in the building tonight. We have Hollywood royalty, John Blyth Barrymore. He is an actor and director, and he has taught workshops, done Shakespeare, and of course he is relative and the family royalty, Hollywood royalty of the Barrymore family. So this is such a treat. And also, we also have the amazing entertainment professional, Jeanne Rice. Jeanne has worked with Rolling Stone, with photography, and she's the founder and CEO of Artist Network Agency, creating powerful connections throughout the world, representing and connecting artists together. And recently, Jeanne directed a music video with John Blyth Barrymore as starring in it, Sunny Afternoon. And we are going to talk about that. A warm welcome to both of you. Hello, lovely people. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you, Ninon.
Nice to meet you too. And nice to see both of you. Absolutely amazing. Let's start off with you, Jeanne. Jeanne, you did this music video. Is that something new that you started doing?
Yes, it was actually. I have a friend by the name of Kevin Kerslake who is just legendary in amongst music video directors. In fact, he's gotten into like music documentary movies and everything, but he's done very famous people, and he encouraged me to take that next step. And I always wanted to, and the opportunity presented myself in my next door neighbor.
That's amazing, because we always need that little push somewhere to sort of get that little wheel going and everything.
Sometimes it's just
we need that little extra sort of thing going on. Do you know David Kirschenbaum at all?
I don't.
David Kirschenbaum, yeah, he's very big in the music industry as well, but anyway. Now, John, I've known you for quite a long time. Not well, but I bumped into you many times in Los Angeles. And it's good to see you. You are looking really great. Don't you ever age?
Yes, I remember I used to be a redhead.
Oh, that's what I am now. So how's everything going for you, John?
It's going fine. I have a helicopter over my head here.
Well, that's all right. As long as it doesn't pick you up and take you away, I don't mind.
Yes, this was actually, I've been in a few music videos, but never did I have so large a role in one as in this recent one. And of course, Jeanne's one of my favorite people on earth. So.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? Well, what role did you play? Were you playing the leading role? I thought the leading role in a music video would have been the lead singer.
Well,
let Jeanne answer that.
Yeah, we did something different. I had come up with this concept. Well, let's see. Actually, it was a kind of a group decision with this concept. Plans kind of changed with COVID, as plans do. Mm-hmm. And we were going to go to a different location, and we couldn't even feel safe getting into a car and going somewhere, so we wanted to stay local. And we made a group decision to come up and do this interesting thing and actually have the song come through the actor's mouth. And so Harry, the singer, Harry Katz, who's the lead singer, and Cream with the K, who is also doing the female vocals, her voice would be going through the female actress. So, awesome. So they were lip syncing, but acting the entire part and the entire song. And it was amazing because John embodied the voice and the song perfectly. So it ended up really great, really happy with it.
So you lived up to your name, John Barrymore, by coming through with true colors.
Yes, or to Milli Vanilli's name, perhaps, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
The dramatic conceit is that I'm singing, but of course
He's
I'm
an
not.
amazing lip syncer. Amazing.
Yeah,
But,
I've always thought that's rather hard to do because I know a lot of the, I was talking about this the other day about lip syncers and how some people get quite upset because people lip sync, but you can't dance and do a lot of stuff at the same time and sing. So you sometimes have to lip sync. And I would imagine it's very hard to do because you got to mouth that exactly the same as it is on the video.
well, I think it's a lot harder live, not to say that John didn't have a hard time, because he did have a hard time, but at least we could take segments and edit them, you know, and try to get timing a little bit right, or slow something down or speed something up. I don't
Yes.
know how Milli Vanilli did it, to be honest, because yeah, it is a tough thing, but I think it also requires to embody that character. If you're going to be lip syncing,
Absolutely.
it has to be believable that you are that person. That's, you know, and it is very believable if you see this thing that he is that voice that's coming through, which is amazing. And that's what we were looking for. And it just happened to work.
So this being one of your first. So go ahead, John.
I spent 8 years in a loop group. So, and I was the guy who did most of the replacement when, you know, they'd shoot something in Czechoslovakia and use a couple of locals, and I would be replacing their voices. And when the star didn't want to come in for the airplane version, you know,
You were there.
I was there, exactly.
Yeah.
So I got used to putting my, you know, matching other people's lips.
That's because I think that's very, very hard to do. I mean, it's still acting, and it's still because now you've taught many people, John, in Los Angeles how to act and how not to act, or how to be normal, you know, to present yourself in a movie. You know, most people don't understand what a movie part really is, and you do. What is it?
Well, it's a lot of it is technical. You know, you have to hit, you know, you have to say the same thing in the same way in the same place every time, and remember which hand you had the thing in, and you know, you can take little changes in, you know, in the close up or whatever, but you still have to match the master shot. So
Yes.
a lot of it is technical, and as for the rest of it, you know, I'm with David Mamet that there is no character. There's lines on a page. It's your character you go up there with, and you know, you do the best you can.
And you're very much known for that.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm very non-method.
Yeah, no, you get the job done.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, in acting and singing and all, you know, out there performing or wherever you are, whatever you're doing, the director, producer, whomever, he relies on that person that can do it. And sometimes that person might not be 100% exactly what they're looking for, but they certainly have the voice. They come in on time, they are there, they do everything, and they know they're not going to start wasting time, because if you get somebody new in and they mess you up, it could be a rather a hard job, can't it?
You bet.
Yeah, I can imagine it would be very, you know, very difficult because they're not really following everything. So this is probably why they use you an awful lot, John, is because they know you're reliable. They know you can do it. Would you say that was right, Jeanne?
I was very excited when John was coming on board. I was very excited because I knew that he had the exact look that I was going for, but I knew he was going to be able to pull it off, you know. So, and plus he has this legendary name, of course, so that doesn't hurt.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but man, we had such a blast, and it came out better than I even could have hoped for. So,
and this was your first one, right?
Yeah, it was my first.
Were you nervous?
I'm directing, so I mean, could you imagine? I mean, what better experience to have a Barrymore on your set the first time you're directing? It's like, it was kind of a pinch me moment. I'm like, I'm directing John Barrymore III on my set.
This is the first I've heard about this.
And I am literally telling him, you know, pulling things out of him.
You're directing him, thinking this you would never have done before. This is like a surprise, not a surprise.
I had no idea this was the first time you directed anything. I thought maybe it was the first time you did a music video.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I've been on sets before, but I hadn't really directed before. So I've been behind sets, but not in the director's position. So, yeah. And
John, how was she? Was she okay, or did you?
Great. You know what most actors need is a good director who knows how to talk to actors. Well,
yeah, and that's
both of my parents were actors, so it kind of comes naturally to me, but it came very naturally to Jeanne too.
Absolutely, but you're right, because there's a way in fact, if I'm right, and you can correct me, John, that you don't ever tell an actor or anybody, we did that wrong, let's do it again. You don't do that. You always say, well, let's try and do it this way, or let's try and do it that way, or we find different words to use to keep their morale up. Is that correct?
Right, you have to create a bubble where they feel safe.
Yes.
Both of my parents were actors, which is to say both of my parents were children.
I love it. I love it.
You know, when I was running the Actors Workshop, really it was a video workshop. The camera's the real teacher, and I was just a director who knows how to talk to actors.
Oh, you're being very modest.
To suggest a way they look at it without a lot of angst or emotional investment that just works, you know.
Yes. What makes an actor? What makes an actor? And this is for both of you. What makes an actor to be able to go out there and just sort of play that part and be so natural and so visual and so normal? Because acting is acting.
Well,
you want to answer that first, John? I mean, you're the expert. Go ahead.
Well, we're all actors. We all act from the minute we get up to the minute we go to bed. Acting is what makes civilization possible. You know, but for acting, we'd be, you know, bashing each other's heads in. But the only difference is professional actors want to play people other than themselves.
Correct.
So,
yeah.
It's just basically, you know, having good speech, control of your body, and the willingness to get up there and play the part, whether or not you think you're right for it, or it's just courage, I guess.
Yes, and putting yourself out there you can make a fool out of yourself, or you can make yourself look absolutely fabulous. You definitely have those positions out there of what's going to happen and what people are going to, how they're going to perceive you. But that's why we have so many actors and actresses. Jeanne, you wanted to also answer that question.
Yeah, for me, I think that it's moving somebody in some way and getting them to believe that you're embodying something a little bit different than your normal, you know. Yeah. And John was certainly able to do that because, you know, he had to portray a certain mood, you know, on the set, and there's something very specific that I was looking for. And if he wasn't giving me enough of that, I had to not be shy. In fact, I don't know where it came from. I lost all nerves completely. And John made me feel very comfortable. I'm sure that's what it was, but he was just another person to me on the set at that time. And I was like, okay, give me more anger, you're really angry. Okay, wait, that's too much anger, you know. Yes, and it's just finding that right balance, you know, until you're like, okay, wait, the crowd's really going to buy this moment, and you're going to make them feel something, whether it's a laugh or whether they feel sad for you, or yeah. You
just said something very interesting. You just said that it's a moment that they have to have there, that somebody is going to buy it. Mm-hmm. And so when you're putting this together, you know, and this is both of you, when you're putting this together, you're actually selling something to millions and millions of people out there. So you've got to put this together, not just your idea, but also the idea of all these people wanting to buy it and enjoying it. Wow, I never really looked at it that way.
But yeah, and not only that, it's the vision of the entire group. because
Yes.
you have the artist and, the two artists in this case, and you have, the director of photography who, Yalan Hu, who is amazing. And she is from Wuhan, China, by the way, and we're doing this during COVID, which is amazing. And you have the editor and the colorist, and you have everybody. You want everybody's vision to come together as one.
It has to come together to make this picture, to make this.
Everybody to be happy, and everybody did a phenomenal job. Everybody did, even the the model actress that was on set, Harry's wife, Vanessa, was a set director. She did incredible. So everybody worked together to communicate this same vision, and that's what it takes, really.
It's amazing. John, you wanted to say something?
Oh, just that, you have to get the audience to buy it, but they're prepared to buy it. I always tell actors, the audience doesn't care how you feel. They want to feel something. That's why they came to the theater. And they will suspend disbelief to the point where they'll cry over computer-generated images if there's a story there.
Absolutely.
They know that Johnny Depp isn't really a pirate. They don't care.
No, they couldn't care two whoos, but they just want the visual thing. So you've got to make that look really good, and they've got to understand it as well. So, John, what else are you doing now? Now you've finished that. Now what are you up to?
Well, I'm working on two projects. One's kind of one's called The End of Hollywood.
Oh, really?
If only. And the other is Untitled. I just signed on to that. We just shot the first couple of days on that. I'm just working on two independent films.
Are they small films, or are they full
budget? You bet.
They're small.
Yeah.
I've
got like 5 or 6 movies on streaming services right now. You know what? I'm getting a lot more work because I'm much more castable than I was when I was a skinny redheaded kid. It's been apart for one old
really
movie. Yeah.
Because they always say that the old
creepy grandpa dying of cancer, grandpa, you name it.
So you get all those parts.
Right.
And of course, you're very, very well sort of in the business, because you've been in the business since, the day you were born, actually. So, you've always been floating around it. You've learned probably every trick in the trade and learned I'm sure you know everything, how to get into a movie, how to get out of a movie. Do you ever get into the distribution side of any of that?
No. I never did, but and I never really I know everything about how movies are made except how you make the deal.
Yeah,
it's
you leave that to somebody else to take care of, and I think that's absolutely very, very smart of you.
I wanted to ask, how can we see the video? How can we see the music video, Jeanne and John?
I have it linked in my Instagram bio. I'm not sure if John does. John, do you have it linked?
I don't know if I have it in my Instagram bio. I'd say it's on my YouTube channel.
Well,
my music videos.
Well, send it to us, and we'll make sure we put it out there.
Yes, it's Harry Cat's "Sunny Afternoon." It's a cover of the Kink song, so you can look it up via that, and then maybe you can put the links up as well. Yeah, so you can look at my Instagram is Jeanne Rice _007, and John. You want to say what your Instagram is, John?
Yes, on Instagram and YouTube, I'm Knave Fool. Knave, KNAVEFOOL.
And you're also on Facebook, right? You're both on Facebook too?
Yes,
Knave Fool there too.
Okay, great. I do want to say this one thing, John. I love your headband, and Jeanne, I love your dress. You look gorgeous, Jeanne.
Thank you.
Isn't that nice? That's so John, sweet. You had a tremendous background to sort of follow into and also to follow, but you kind of went your own path out of choice.
I was technology for 20 years. I wrote software, and thank God I did, because I'm living on the basically the Social Security I paid into when I was writing software.
Good for you.
If I had to live on what I made as an actor, I'd be starving.
But you had a tough road to follow, didn't you, John? When you've got parents that were, really high up there. I mean, good Lord alive, and then you have to follow in their footsteps and try to be your own person. Have you managed that?
Well, I just I don't know. I've been comfortable in my skin for about 40
Good.
years now. So, I don't feel, my father is my father, my mother's my mother, and they're both extremely talented.
Yes,
I
extremely.
think he's doing a great job.
Jeannie, well, I've before this directing job and what you just did, you say that you put all over the world, you put celebrities together, and I think, do you manage them or?
Well, I had various things that I did in the music and entertainment industry, various things for 32 years, about 32 years. I hate to age myself.
Don't worry, you're looking good.
Yeah, don't look too closely. Yeah, it's been a long time. How it started is a crazy story. We could get into a whole new episode with that. But
How did you start? Just a little bit.
I had my own graphic design business, and well, I had my real estate license. Then I was like, oh no, I need to follow my creative bliss. I went back to school as a single mom, and I started studying all these classes, all these different art classes and everything. And I loved Vogue magazine ads. And I'm like, I'm going to art direct, these beautiful advertisements for fashion. And so I'm taking all these classes, but, I'm deciding that I've got to take whatever classes it takes to make myself the best, because I always wanted to be the best of whatever I do. And when I was taking these classes, one of them was had to be photography, because I had to know how to art direct these photographers. And so when I took the photography class, I had a friend that was like, oh, hey, can you come shoot my band? And I did. And he said, oh, those photos are great. And I was like, really? Because you hate everything. And he's like, no, they're really, really good, Jeanne. And if he meant it, then I knew that meant something. And then I went to do another concert, and a riot broke out, and the magazines wanted photos of that riot and said they were artsy.
And you had them.
And from then on, I started getting published in magazines internationally and everything. I really, really, really was blessed in that department. And while I was doing photography, I was managing, and I was doing websites for bands, and I was doing this and that. And then I started doing talent booking. I started doing my own showcases. And yes, I even managed an artist in France for a little while and co-produced a song with him. So I also was a singer-songwriter myself for a little while.
John, do you think this young lady is talented? I mean, I'm listening to this story, but she kind of rode along, I'm not going to say with the punches, but you rode along, because I know exactly what you're talking about. Going to all these band places, it's not exactly you're earning millions of dollars. And these bands, some of them don't have much money to spend, but you're helping them along the way by taking photographs, by then managing them and getting them into other places. John, what do you think of that?
Well, proves my theory that nothing can take the place of incomprehensible good luck. But the thing is, you have to have the chops to deal with it. And
yes.
So when there was a riot, Jeanne had what it took to
she had the camera.
Exactly.
She had to but you had guts enough to take the photographs, because not many people really think about that. They'll get all their gear and run off somewhere, and rather than get exactly what's going on. So you had the tenacity to be able to sort of, do that, and to sort of, and to make something of something that really was not that good, but you created, you saw in your mind. So you're definitely the two of you are very creative. John, are you married?
No, I was married. I have 3 grown-up kids, 4 grown-up kids.
Are they in acting? Are they in acting?
None of them are in acting, thank God.
That's funny.
My little daughter, she just had a baby last November, and so I have a grandson. So it remains to be seen.
But and you obviously get on with all your children. Are they living around you, near you?
No, actually, the 2 of my kids are still up in Monterey. That's where I was when I was writing software. I was in Silicon Valley for 5 years, and then in Monterey for 7. And that's where I raised my kids, was Silicon Valley and Monterey. 2 of them stayed in Monterey, and one of them went to Portland, and that's the one I'm going up Christmas time with my youngest daughter to visit her sister and my grandson.
That's amazing. I just want to ask a question. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask John, what advice did mother and father give you about acting that you could share with the younger generation that would like to be you, that would like to be an actor like you?
Well, I think the pithiest thing ever said about acting was said by George Burns. And he said, the most important thing in acting is truth. Once you can fake that, the rest is easy.
Once you fake that, the rest, that's funny.
I've always taken, and you know, my grandfather was an asynchronous one eyebrow actor, as in, I closed the iron door on you. And his brother Lionel was a synchronous two eyebrow actor, as in, why, George Bailey, you should sell the savings and loan. And believe me, that's just about how deeply they thought about it.
I love it.
Very cool. Very, very good.
Thank you.
Do you want to ask Jeanne a question, AJ?
Yes, I wanted to ask Jeanne, she has this great picture of Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about that and what he means to you?
Oh, geez, that's secret. No.
Let the secret out.
Well, yeah, right. I know, I put it up there. Well, I was working as a house photographer at a venue, and I was able to get that photograph, and just a very, very special occasion because it was very special. I'll just put it that way. Bob Dylan is just legendary, and I think that talks a lot about these special moments that I was able to have that I can hold on to in my career throughout the years, you know, that what this career has given me in music and entertainment, you know. I mean, to have these moments where I'm standing next to Bob Dylan, I'm just like, what?
Not many people have those moments.
Right. And so it's just so precious to me, you know, and so I really, really enjoyed it so much. And I love that I'm able to continue and just keep pivoting into something else. And right now I'm working on a grand, you know, something that I've had going on for a long period of time. That may be your next question, but I can kind of go into it from there. It's just, I've had this long-term end all be all plan in my life, you know, to have this agency. And it was something that I dreamed of 20 years ago. And I never wanted to just do one thing, you know, when I was in photography, as you could tell, because while I was shooting, I was doing this and then that. And so I always wanted to have this agency, and I had big plans for it. And I'm like, oh, it could have this division and that division. And then I got the domains 15 years ago. And during COVID, right before COVID, I almost like was looking for like a space, you know, but then, you know, there was this and that going on. And I was just like, well, do I really need the brick and mortar? I don't know if it's a good time to do something like that. I don't think it's a good time. So when I was getting into sync licensing, and I knew for a while now that that's something I wanted to do, and I was preparing for that, like where I'm getting, and that's music and film and television ad.
All of it together. You know, it's funny because AJ asked a question before, asked John a question actually about the younger generation. And I think I'm going to elaborate on that younger generation to follow what Jeanne has done. In other words, whatever, and the same as you, John, if you've got all this stuff within you and you want to do it, there's nothing out there to actually stop you from doing it but yourself. So I think because you went through and did it, you did what you wanted to do, John. You went through this life and you've actually lived a life, I hope, you've actually lived a life that you created yourself and you like it. Do you like your life, John? It sounds like you do.
Yes, I do. Yes,
yeah, isn't that nice?
And nowadays actors have the ability to take control of their careers in a way that wasn't possible when I was starting out.
No, not at all.
You know, I mean, there are people who've made themselves stars on YouTube.
Yes. So my next question is for both of you. So when are you both, each one of you, going to write your memoirs? You're going to write a book, John?
Well, you know, I've written a lot of short form, and it's all been
Yes.
published multiple times, poetry and
Yes.
short autobiographical pieces.
Mhm.
People have been bugging me to write a book, but
I think it would be
that's one of the
fascinating
writers have-
because
oh yes, discipline. That's the one. I need a taskmaster and a secretary if I'm going to write a book.
yes, yes,
No,
you need people around you to take.
No, I need somebody to come in and say we're going to work from noon to 5 today.
Writing your book, your memoirs, you're going to sit there thinking about all the different things that have happened to you in your life, because you know you've had a fascinating life, coming from a fascinating family, but also living your own life as you have lived it. And it sounds like you've made your life very exciting, but it also sounds like you've done an awful lot of things that you wanted to do.
Yeah, well, I pretty much did whatever I wanted to do, and therein lies the problem.
Why? What's the
Yeah,
problem?
not really, not
No.
really.
I think it's worked. I think it's worked out absolutely wonderful for you, and like you're getting
Worked
the
in his
roles.
favor, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Worked in his favor for sure, and that's for you, Jean. You've done the same thing. I think
Yes.
we're coming towards the end of the show. Are we coming? I know you're. I can tell. I can feel your energy, AJ. That we're coming to the end. So before we leave, and thank you and everything else, John, how can anybody get hold of you?
Well, john@barrymore.com.
Okay.
That's my email address. And Navefool, you can send me a message on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube.
Okay.
And I have a YouTube video that kind of went semi-viral. It's anyway, it's a 1-hour monologue.
This sounds exciting. What is this? Tell me.
Yeah. It's a 1-hour monologue about a 3-panel Garfield cartoon, and it's gotten 3 million views, and the comments are absolutely priceless.
Oh,
It's got a
awesome.
90-to-1 thumbs up to thumbs down ratio, and
Okay. So how can people find that?
Navefool. You go to my channel, youtube.com/Navefool, and it'll be right there under featured videos, and so will Harry.
And so we're all going to
Nuts
give it a thumbs
Pistachios.
up.
Hmm?
We're all going to give it a thumbs up.
Yes.
Absolutely. Jeannie, how can we reach you, and where are you? Where can we reach you?
JeanneRice.com. Just my name spelled out, and also my new Instagram Artist Network Agency,
Okay.
IG
Perfect.
account. It's just a singular artist and network agency.
Absolutely. Well, I want to just thank both of you for coming on. You've both been amazing. I think what you've both done is given an inspiration, especially, I hope, to our younger generation, because I love our younger generation. I think they're all, they're just amazing. And sometimes they do need a little bit of our help, apart from their parents, but they need other help. And I think hopefully listening to you, John, and listening to you, Jean, I think is going to help them tremendously out there, that everything is possible wherever you come from, whether you come from a well-known family or whether you don't come from a it doesn't really make any difference. It's what you want to do and how you want to do it. So I want to thank all my audience out there for also making NinonSpeaks very popular. We're now on Roku, which is quite amazing because we haven't had this show very long, so it's all doing very, very well. And it's because of guests like, thank you, Jeannie. It's because of guests like you that sort of put it there. AJ, what would you like to say?
Thank you so much to our Hollywood royalty, John Blyth Barrymore, and our VIP, Jeanne Rice, entertainment professional. Thank you both. We love you, and we want you back again in the future.
It's good to see you, Ninon.
It's good to see you too. Take care, guys. Wonderful. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, AJ.
Bye, guys.